Xenoblade Chronicles 3D is a 3D port of the existing Xenoblade Chronicles that came out for the Wii in 2010. Almost everything in the port is identical to its Wii counterpart, except for the resolution due to the screen, and no Japanese voice option for Western releases due to the space on the cartridge. Probably. Without going into too much depth, the story is about the Mechon, the other beings that live on the opposite Titan called Mechonis, trying to take over the Homs on Bionis. The protagonist Shulk is busy studying the prime item in the game, the Monado, when the Mechon attack his hometown, Colony 9, and kills many of his fellow people. He then decides to go and stop the Mechon as revenge for his colony being attacked, and to prevent anything else from happening. The combat in the game is very basic. You stay on the ground with the ability to walk slowly 360 degrees around the enemy with basic attacks. It's not just about hitting again and again in my experience playing the game. You have to mostly rely on chain attacks to defeat an enemy. Because of this, before I figured out how to do a chain attack, I died a lot. This is one of the problems with the game, the fact that it takes way too long to explain how to do things like a chain attack, which makes it hard to understand what to do when you're fighting an enemy. The best aspect of Xenoblade is definitely the massive landscapes you cross. You start out in a city called Colony 9, which is pretty linear. But when you get to Guar Plains, you then realise why so many people say this game takes at least 100 hours plus to complete. Everywhere you see has massive mountains that you think you won't be able to get to, but for a matter of fact you can. In fact, every area you see in the distance of every map you can get to. Now there is a problem with this. Even though the areas are massive, the story doesn't make you go through any of the far off areas. And it never backtracks, which makes the side quests the only reason to go to an area so you can find an animal you can't find where you get the fetch quest. This makes the story very linear, which is the complete opposite of what the area is supposed to be and what the game is going for. The good side to this is that there are many side quests, and a lot give you very worthwhile items like weapons or clothes that will boost your character's overall stats. In conclusion, I like the game a lot. It doesn't have the best combat system in the world. It definitely doesn't when comparing it to Ocarina of Time, but the massive landscapes, tons of side quests, the endless possibilities with customization, and an amazing story, plus the portability of the game with the new 3DS functions, which make it much easier to play as you could play it anywhere with the new 3DS being at handheld. I would get this game immediately just in case it doesn't become expensive like the Wii version, and it is definitely a reason to buy a new 3DS.